this may be wrong, but Dan McCready's opponent, Dan, whatever his name is, Dan Bishop, he's going to say, wow, he's just scared, and continue to attack him, continue to smear him, because that's what smear merchants do. When you try to appease them, they just smear you more, because that's what they do. They're in the name. It's smear merchant, right? So he's not going to say, wow, I really respect him for turning back that donation. Just continue to smear, continue to attack. So, yeah, that is very... That's what's going to happen here. Wait, you watch. The following is a statement from Dan Bishop, conservative candidate and right Dan for Congress in NC09, on wrong Dan McCready's months too late refund of radical Representative Ilhan Omar's campaign contribution. All right, I'm already being proven right. He's not going to say, "Oh, good of you for returning that donation." He's going to say, "No, you're radical, just like her." Wrong Dan McCready gladly accepted a contribution from Representative Ilhan Omar and then held it for months, long after the Congresswoman's offensive anti-Semitic slander of our ally Israel. Only after our campaign began to expose McCready's ties to the far-left fringe of the Democratic Party did he return the money. He should never have accepted it in the first place, but he's right to be concerned that the people across the 9th District will learn the truth. That Omar contribution is just one of the many troubling associations McCready will have to explain this special election. We won't stop educating voters about the liberal crowds working to help McCready join them in Washington. Literally, I swear to God, I haven't read that. I haven't read that before. I just did. That pretty much proved me exactly right, because this is what these people do. They're insane radical Republicans. They don't want to. They're not going to be like, "Oh, that's so nice of you." Like, trying to appease these people doesn't work. It just doesn't work. They're out to get you. And if you do something that they think is bad, they're going to say, "You know what? You're an idiot. You're crazy. You're radical. You're stupid. You're a communist. You're a socialist." Like, they're going to keep going. Like, they're not there to be fair about it. They're there to beat you. And people like Dan McCready, they just don't get it. People like wrong Dan McCready. McCready then tweeted out his own explanation, that he returned the donation before Omar had been deluged with attacks because he disagreed with any anti-Semitic comments, saying, quote, "Some folks were asking why I directed the return of Omar's donation. I did this weeks ago because I vigorously disagree with any anti-Semitic comments. Since then, dangerous and hateful attacks have started against her. I condemn in the strongest terms any hateful rhetoric against her, the Muslim community, and people of color. Too many people have been hurt by broken politics. We must end hate speech against all people and groups." So yeah, I don't know, you can't get back to... She's not going to donate to you again. What an absolute political coward who just fell into the trap that literally every single moderate Democrat has fell into before. Doing something when it happened. It's been going on since when Obama released his birth certificate. Appeasing these people doesn't work. They're just going to say, "Why didn't you do it sooner? This is fake. You didn't really return it. This is a fake birth certificate." Like, it's happened time and time again. Like, these people, they're not going to be easily appeased like that. It's just not going to work. What a political coward. Jesus Christ. All right. Speaking of political coward Democrats, all the Democratic presidential candidates have committed to rejecting the influence of special interests to demonstrate their resolve. Several of the candidates have promised the power of the White House ambitions without a single dollar of lobbyist money. In the wave of small dollar donations reported on Monday, first financial disclosure reporting period of 2020, lobbyist money made its way into the coffers of major candidates' campaigns somehow. Oh my God. Beto O'Rourke, Kamala Harris, Cory Booker have all taken lobbying donations. So, guess who received the most? Kamala Harris. She received the most there. So take those names into consideration. They're liars and they take moderate money. Lobbyist money, I mean. So, yeah, it's very interesting. That's very, very, very telling. So just take that into note. All right. We now turn to two incredible stories about our winner of the week. Ladies and gentlemen, our winner of the week for today, a crusty old socialist, Senator Bernie Sanders, winner of the week. Congratulations. He's won it for rising. I just had to give him the Winner of the Week award for rising beyond any political attacks. And the many ones that have been trying to, like, the ones that have been against him personally and his policies, falling in the face of the Democrats' unity claims, and having also a pretty damn good town hall. All right. Here's Exhibit 1 of why he's a Winner of the Week. It's difficult to engage with today's New York Times story about the Democratic establishment attempts to stop this Bernie Sanders candidacy without one's blood boiling over, if you're a Bernie Sanders fan. So yeah, this is one of two, one about Neera Tanden and Cap, and this one, which I'm going to kind of go through for you, both of which I highly recommend you go check out on the New York Times. So yeah, when Lane Daughtry, one of the Democratic Party officials, addressed a closed-door gathering of about 100 wealthy liberal donors in San Francisco last month, all it took was a review of the 2020 primary rules to throw a scare in them. Democrats are likely to go into their convention next summer without having settled on a presidential nominee, said Daughtry, who ran our party's convention in 2008 and 2006. And Senator Bernie Sanders is well-positioned to be one of the last ones standing. Oh, no! Oh, Bernie's coming for us! Oh, no! Yeah, like, it's so funny to hear the fear in them. Like, how are these wealthy donors and their allies in the halls of power derail a candidacy? They did everything they could to hobble the last time around when their betrothed was supposed to win it all, Hillary. When it's been proving even more popular as the 2020 primary heats up. Here is literally one of the two worst paragraphs. Well written, but pretty bad. This is it. From the canopy-filled fundraisers on the coast of the cloakrooms of Washington, mainstream Democrats are increasingly worried that their effort to defeat President Trump in 2020 could be complicated by Mr. Sanders in a political scenario ultra reminiscent of how Trump himself sees the Republican nomination in 2016. They're increasingly worried that their conscious effort that they're doing now to defeat President Trump could be complicated by Senator Sanders. So how some Democrats are being asked, do they thwart a 70-something candidate from the outside of the party structure who is immune to intimidation and incentive and wields support for an unwavering base without simply reinforcing his establishment is out to get me message, the same grievance that Trump used to great effect. So yeah, and it's a very it's a powerful and powerful message because it's been proven time and time again to be something that, well, it's actually happening. Like, powerful narratives most often have a bit of truth in them. It turns out this narrative has a lot of truth. There's been, as New York Times is reporting here, a continuous effort to derail the candidacy of Bernie Sanders, and that is what we're seeing here. Sanders, again, he's running a very real, quite effective presidential campaign, could complicate the effort to defeat Trump if he ends up being the nominee. He's a better shot, literally a better shot than Hillary did, or literally anyone. So yeah, in the candidacy, in the race today, it's just that simple. I also resent and reject the idea that Sanders' immunity to incentive, to the imitation of incentive and his unwavering base are anything resembling a liability. They are what you want in a candidate. Like when I read those quotes, quote, immune to intimidation or incentive and wield support from an unwavering base. That's how you know a candidate is popular. Like that's how you know. Like that's how you know you got the right guy. So, here's another quote from the story. But stopping Sanders, or at least preventing a contentious convention, could prove difficult to Democrats. Again, the thing is, Democrat here is used interchangeably with Democratic elites. These people in the canopy. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Canopy. It's an hors d'oeuvre. The canopy filled. It's a vol au vent type thing. It's apparently one of crackers, bread, toast, or puff pastry with a topping of savory butters, spreads, or pastes. That's from, I believe, Wikipedia there. Yeah. It's often eaten in one bite. Very, very interesting. Very interesting. So yeah, those people, those canopy eating libs are the ones who want to stop Bernie Sanders here. They're not doing it yet. They don't have the self-awareness to know that they're steering themselves in a brick wall. Like, yeah, they just don't want the guy who challenged Clinton to go the distance here. It's going to look embarrassing. It's going to look bad. And it's going to look, again, like their worldview, their way of doing things, their boat that they've been so successfully losing on since, I don't know, ever since like 2012, 2010, really, when things really started to go downhill, aside from like the Obama campaign, which has kind of been a distance from the DNC and the Hillary scum and the Democratic pond waters. So this is David Brock, who's talking here in this story. That prospect is not only spooking establishment-aligned Democrats. This is what the story. I'll get David Brock's quote in a moment, but it's also creating tensions about what, if anything, should be done to halt Sanders. Some in the party still harbor anger over the 2016 race. Of course they do. When he ran against Clinton and his ongoing resistance to becoming a Democrat. But you really have to wonder, why could a guy who's doesn't want why could this guy possibly not want to become a Democrat? Is it because literally everyone in the party hates him and wants to see him fail? Like, is that you want to be a part of that party? Really? Okay. His critics are chiefly motivated by a fear that nominating an avowed socialist would all but ensure Trump a second term. There's a growing realization that Sanders could have winning this thing, or certainly that he stays in so long that he damages the actual winner. Said David Brock, the liberal organizer, who used to be by the way, the conservative organizer. Don't forget that. Absolute careerist, Washington, literally the bottom of the swamp, who has said he had discussions with other operatives about an anti-Sanders campaign and believes it should commence sooner rather than later. He's a lunatic. And again, the point is, like, he stays so long that he actually damages the actual winner. Like, there's no... And another quote I want to point out is, his critics are chiefly motivated by the fear that nominating an avowed socialist would all but ensure Sanders a second term. Trump a second term. And the thing is, there is no evidence to support this base, but except for the fact that they have their own little ideas, like just their opinion. Like, that's the only thing that's supporting this assumption here, and it's based off nothing but the wisdom that, I have to say, we're not in a democratic socialist country. I mean, maybe all Bernie Sanders continues to be the most popular politician in the country. His policies are overwhelmingly popular in terms of polling. People have supported them time and time again. He has the largest small dollar donations. Like, he does not have the support of the people at all. No, totally not. Like, what are you talking about? There is no evidence to suggest that if Bernie Sanders went up against Trump, by the way, the recent Fox News poll, he's up 7 points on the guy. Bernie is on Trump. There was no evidence to suggest that. There's none. He spent $1 million fighting Bernie Bros, which is amazing. What I'm going to do is correct the record meme page. Yeah, he pretty much ran a meme distribution page last primary cycle against Bernie, which is hilarious. Brock supported Clinton in past presidential bid. He said the Bernie Sanders question comes up in every fundraising meeting I do. Stephen Ratner, a major Democratic Party donor, said the topics discussed endlessly in his orbit among Democratic leaders is becoming hard to block out. I love it. Let's see them quake in fear. The matter of what to do about Bernie and the larger imperative party unity, which, by the way, they don't give a flying you-know-what about party unity unless the party is unified around them. It's just that simple. They don't care. If the guy wins a primary fair and square, they would say, okay, we're gonna rally behind you. As Bernie has said time and time again, he will. They're going to try and destroy him. They're going to take him in from the inside out. Like, they're going to do anything possible to ensure that it doesn't happen. Yeah. Anything possible. Yeah, it suffered over a series. This kind of way of stopping party unity, or stopping Bernie, has hovered over a series of previously undisclosed Democratic dinners in New York and Washington, organized by longtime party financier Bernard Schwartz. Some of the attendees have included Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Terry McAuliffe, Pete Buttigieg, that's interesting, himself as a presidential candidate, and the president of CAP, Neera Tanden. He did this as a service in the last election. Said Schwartz, a longtime Clinton supporter, who said he'll support former Vice President Joseph R. Biden in this primary. Sanders did the ceremonial thing at the convention. He hit the trail for Clinton. He did what was asked asked of him. He campaigned in the spots that Hillary should have been in,